Hey,
Okay, so we are back. This is Dr. Jodi and her son Lane.
hey,
And okay, let's just dive right into this without wasting any time. So, I want to start with the dietary guidelines. You know the food pyramid,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay. So, were you taught the food pyramid in school?
yeah, we were.
Okay, and what were you guys taught?
About 6 servings of grains a day. They had like the bread and the grains on the bottom. Was it like 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day? And then like, I forget what the protein was, but it was pretty minuscule.
Okay. So, I don't know when you guys stopped getting school lunches, but just out of curiosity, do you remember when you were in elementary, like what did a school lunch look like? What was in that?
Quick answer would be just straight carbs, but if I can remember, it was mostly like these very clearly overly processed pizza slices that were like in large squares that were mostly bread, a
Mostly
very thin layer of fake cheese. It was always cheese pizza too. It was never anything but cheese pizza.
there's no meat on it.
No meat, yeah. And there
Right.
was always fruit,
Right?
like one piece of fruit, like half of a banana maybe, and like canned vegetables with like your choice of milk, pug, or chocolate milk.
Okay. And I'm like, knowing what I know now, it's like I have these moments where I freak out because I think about how you guys ate, right? All these
I
years,
know. I
all
should
those
be 6'3" right now.
yeah, you could be a lot taller and ooh, maybe even smarter, right? But
Yeah.
it's like when you think about how everyone eats, from adults to kids. And in the description of this video, I say that the average person eats 3 to 4 meals a day. And why are they eating what they eat, right? Where did they get this information from to consume these specific things? And I think what people don't realize, and that's a very important topic for this. I'm Dr. Jodi, owner of the Keto Prescription, and this is my 18-year-old son Lane, who was a vegan for 365 days during his own health journey and now eats an animal based diet similar to carnivore, but with some tweaks for nutritional reasons. When you think about the dietary guidelines, it's crazy because what the dietary guidelines recommend is 6 servings of grains, a bunch of dairy, a little bit of dairy. I think fruits and vegetables is the layer above grains, but it doesn't say like this many vegetables, this many fruits. It kind of lumps it all into one category. And then a little bit of protein at the top. Now, my question to everyone out there, and Lane, please chime in, is like, if the dietary guidelines were right, why is America so overweight and obese? Why do we have the highest rate of heart attacks and strokes, cancer, especially Alzheimer's disease, diabetes? Oh my God, everyone's got diabetes. You know, people like to say, "Oh, it's my genetics; it runs in my family," but that's actually really not what's causing your medical condition and your illness. Like on your what is some stuff that runs in our family, in your family?
Cancer,
Diabetes,
heart
cancer,
attacks.
heart
Uh,
attacks,
I'm just like emotional, mental stuff.
a lot of GI issues, right?
GI. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think this sounds like so many other people's families out there, like these things have become so common. And I talk to so many people every week about, that's me. Oh, I eat this. Oh, I make sure to eat the sprouted bread. And I say, well, why do you eat that? Oh, because I heard it's really good for you. Well, who did you hear that from? You know, oh, my
Yeah.
uncle said blah 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 blah. But what I want to do is kind of plant a seed in people's minds, like where are you getting this information from? And we're going to show you guys some really interesting facts today, um, just to make you think, okay? So we'll lead into the first screen lane that I'm going to share, which is the food compass scoring system. But what I want you guys to know is that on September 28th, the White House is going to host their first conference on hunger, nutrition, and health in many years. It's the first since 1969 when President Nixon was in office. And the man who is in charge of this, he is the dean of the Tufts Friedman School of Nutrition and Policy. He is financially supported by the processed food industry, by the Rockefeller Foundation, and by a Silicon Valley investor named, well, we won't say his name, but this is his financial backing, and that's very important for people to know. Okay, so Lane, what do you know about the food compass score that I'm gonna flash up on this screen right now?
I'm gonna wait for it to flash up.
Okay, let me.
Is anyone in here?
Choose what to share. Entire screen. Window. Okay. Can you see that, Lane?
Oh, I have to move something. Yeah, I can see it. So, I mean, I think. Hold up.
Oops. There.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, if you just look at it and you don't ounce anything about health, sorry, it just pisses me off looking at it sometimes. It looks ridiculous. I mean, there's two sugared cereals in the top in the green section, but you look what's in the red. You talk to anyone that eats what's in the red from good sources, they will not say that. And it's literally proven, like science says that this chart is BS. So that's what I
Right.
think about
So
it.
so you guys, what the food compass scoring system is, okay, is it was invented by this guy that's going to be in charge of the White House conference on hunger, nutrition, and health later this month. So anything green is highly recommended that we in America eat. Anything yellow is less recommended, and everything in the red has a lower score. That's basically like telling you these things in red have no nutritional value. Okay, so look at the things in green. No. Let's start with red, Lane. Okay, so ground beef, cheddar cheese, and a whole egg fried in butter has the worst scores in this food compass scoring system.
Literally like three of the most nutritious foods on the planet.
Three of the most nutritious foods
Like
on the planet.
if you eat those three, you'll be a lot better off. Like if you'd only those three, you'd be a lot better off eating anything in the yellow and
Yes,
green. A
yes,
lot better off.
a lot better off. Now, guys, slowly work up to the yellow with us. Okay,
Ice cream cone with nuts is
ice
above the
cream
red stuff.
cone with nuts scored higher than egg, cheese, and beef. Almond M&Ms scored higher
Like,
than
dude, I don't
beef.
even like reading this thing. What is this?
Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms
Lucky
cereal.
Charms, dude. That dude, people were dying eating Lucky Charms cereal. People were dying, and
Yeah.
this is double the score of what's in the red,
Well,
right?
now let's go to the green. Okay, now we're tripling the score, right? Of what supposedly is better. Chocolate covered almonds, frosted mini wheats, orange
Frosted.
juice,
You know what frosted
watermelon.
means? Frosted means sugar.
Yeah,
Something with
frosted means it's
literal
covered in
powdered
sugar.
sugar on it. Is
Oh
healthy.
man, and there's kale. God, I hate kale. Kale is number one on this chart. Now, the reason why we're showing you guys this is it's going to pop up more and more and more in the media because there is an agenda, there's a financial agenda behind this, and it's going to get in your face a lot more. So we wanted you to hear it first. Um, the reason why this is significant is because the food compass scoring system, like, it affects school lunches. It affects what dietitians learn in their educational program. It affects WIC. It affects SNAP benefits. It affects what our military personnel are fed. It affects guidelines that are imposed by the American Medical Association, the American Diabetes Association. And you guys could see for yourself that eggs, cheese, and meat were on the bottom as having the worst scores in terms of nutrition. And all these cereals actually scored higher, and candy and ice cream scored higher than these. Lane, are you worried for your generation?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Worried about mine. Worried about yours because yours is much smarter. And I'm worried about the next. So trying to do what I can, but I mean, it's just I think people need to they need to pop the idea in their head that like, okay, maybe the government does not have our best interests at heart 24/7 all the time. You have to look at history and you have to look at recent events and you if you really like just think think original like from your think for yourself for like 5 seconds, you'll understand that it's not about us. It's not about keeping us safe. Anything most of the things that happened around the world is the United States fault. Mostly everything. And if you look
Is
at
it
our
us?
diet,
You mean, like, is it us kind of getting involved in stuff that we shouldn't be getting
everything,
involved
yes,
in?
everything as long as there's money in it.
Oh,
Like if you like even if you talk about like war, all the countries in war right now hate us. They think it's our fault. They're not blaming Russia. They're blaming us. It's like
right.
everything. You have to understand. You just have to look, and you have to understand that everything's connected. Like even these food companies, there's always one big boss who's running it all, and the big boss is always in a notoriously unhealthy company. And I
Right.
think it's just when people learn how to read nutrition labels and like just understand like 25 to 30% of ingredients and what they are and what they do, then you'll understand like all these guidelines they put out for you are complete and utter like BS.
Yeah, it it's very questionable. And so what we can do here is we can present to you the actual facts, right? And that you decide for yourself what you want to consume at your meals. And you just saw this food scoring system, right? Again, in terms of nutritional value, cereals and candies scored higher than eggs, cheese, and meat. So now I'm going to show you the nutrition facts for romaine lettuce. Okay. One of my pet peeves is when people think that they have to eat a lot of salad to be healthy. And that's actually not true. And I'm going to show you guys why.
Exactly. I did it every day for a year. It does not make your life that much better. Trust me.
You
It's
know
not the
what?
answer.
What did you eat? Let's talk about. Can you share with the
I
audience what you
I literally ate the same 5 6 meals for a whole year. So what I did was in the morning I'd have a spinach, kiwi, hemp seed, nut butter smoothie, which is an anti-nutrient bomb. I'd somehow find the willpower to continue through my day after that horrible breakfast. I would make it to my next meal, which was always every single day a salad with falafels, cucumbers, some kind of pepper, a seed oil hot sauce, and a Beyond Burger chopped up in it. Seed oil disaster with no nutrition. Move on to Square C. It was a mix between some more Beyond Burgers, a Beyond Burger like lettuce taco, a Beyond Beef zucchini pasta with some Rouse tomato sauce, like the marinara. So basically, this to sum it up, it was a seed oil oxalate zero protein zero complete protein disaster, and I think what's sad about that is I felt a lot better eating like that than I did eating a standard American diet, and that should say something.
Yeah, well, because you weren't eating a lot of processed sugar and processed foods, you felt better during your vegan journey.
I was eating
But I think
organic
what
seed oil instead of overly processed seed oil.
right, but you and I agree that what happened over time was you became nutrient deficient and you were having to take a bunch of supplements, remember? To
Yeah,
fill
like
in the
B12.
gaps.
Yeah, I had to take like B12 and stuff,
Yeah.
and D3.
Okay, so what we have on the screen here for you guys is the nutrition facts for romaine lettuce. Okay. And it's funny because it's like, boom, romaine lettuce is an excellent source of vitamin A and vitamin K. I'm not going to argue with that. But that's it, you guys. That's it. You can see here, okay, it's got 2 carbs, it's got 1 gram of fiber, yay. Oh, it's only 10 calories. But look at how little nutrients it has below that first bolded black line under protein, where it lists different vitamins and minerals. It is a very empty food. And so the point I'm trying to make to people is you don't have to eat a lot of salad to be healthy. If you eat a lot of salad, just like lettuce, you're deficient in nutrients. So you have to make sure that you're putting a whole bunch of other stuff on it. And I'm not talking dried cranberries because that's fruit. I'm not talking quinoa because that's grains that turn into sugar. I'm talking like protein. Now let's go into nutritional value of meat. Okay? Is Lane, can you see that on your end?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So per 100-gram serving of cooked beef, so 100 grams is about um, 12 ounces, 10, 12 ounces, let's
Around
say.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, but look at all this. You've got vitamin B12, you've got zinc, selenium, niacin, riboflavin, pantothenate, iron, phosphorus, vitamin B6, choline, thiamine, magnesium, potassium, and you've got all 9 essential amino acids. Lettuce and most vegetables do not have the 9 essential amino acids that your body needs just to function properly on a daily basis. And so when you look at the nutritional value of meat versus the nutritional value of lettuce, you can just see a lot of differences. Now, Lane, during your vegan journey, were you trying to make sure to round everything out like this?
What do you mean?
Like all your amino acids and all your vitamins and minerals?
Mm, I attempted to. Yeah.
Okay.
Just like
But
with certain plant proteins that I thought were combinations like pea protein. The combination of pea protein and mung bean protein is what I thought. I mean, I'm pretty sure it is, but it's not like it's kind of a whatever source of it is of complete protein when those things are mixed. But at the same time, you'd rather just get it from a real source of food instead of these isolates and stuff. So I tried, but I mean,
it's hard.
yeah,
I think you have to
it's
eat a
extra
lot of
effort.
it to equal.
Yeah, and it's very repetitive too because your sources are very limited,
Yeah.
and they also taste horrible. So
Yeah.
there's
And
nothing nourishing about
you
it.
know, that's why I'm so thankful that you're always going to be joining these videos, is because you have that 1 year experience of doing that and trying to figure all of that out. I think I know a lot of people that were like, "Oh, I'm going to go vegan," and they can't do it for very long.
Been around
Or
the
I feel
block.
like some people just like saying I'm vegan and vegetarian, but they're not truly. You catch them cheating and you catch them eating fish and
Well,
chicken.
the majority of people are sayers, so
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that too. But again, the
yeah.
importance, you guys, is making sure that you understand what you're eating. And something I'm going to say about pea protein is there's crude protein and there's true protein. And people don't understand the difference. So my colleague, Peter Ballerstedt, he is his Instagram page is at grass based. He knows a lot about this the protein industry, and he knows a lot about the true protein content of foods. And so, on a label, for people, they don't have to distinguish between crude protein and true protein. And so you think you're getting 24 grams of protein in a scoop of this pea protein powder. That's crude protein. The true amount of protein that you might be getting might only be 5 grams. So that's really something that I want people to take away from this. So Mapuana is saying in the comments, I'm not doubting what you are saying, just asking. There are guys out there like Ornish linking the meats to heart disease. I believe there is even a Netflix film saying sugars are not the enemy. Ooh, what's the name of that? It is animal fats causing heart disease. I'd love to hear more of your
Crooks.
comments.
Those. That's what you call crooks. Rich
Okay.
crooks.
So let's just
They're
start
robbing you of health and happiness. Don't listen to
let's
them.
just start with Netflix films and documentaries. So with the right amount of money, anyone can film a documentary and say anything and get celebrities to endorse their narrative to get you to believe it, again with the right
Money.
amount of money. I'm not filthy rich, so I got to do it like this on Facebook and YouTube. Now let's talk about Ornish
And I mean,
linking.
okay. Sorry. Let me pitch it. Look at
Okay,
Ornish. Look at Ornish. Just look at a picture of Ornish. Look up a picture of Ornish. That's the
Mr.
guy you're
Ornish.
trusting. Ornish. I'm pretty sure that's a physician.
Oh, I
That's a
don't even know
physician,
what he
right?
looks like. Let me look.
Just look up a picture of him. It's just like these arguments where people, these guys, giving out all this information. You got to understand. It's just like the person giving them out. Like you have to look at them because they're probably following their own practices. Like
Uh-oh.
I'm not trying to be shady here, but like I mean it's obvious. Like even when vegans bring up that Dr. Sebi argument, I mean like look at Dr. Sebi. He's really skinny and frail. He's an herbalist. That
Mhm.
doesn't mean like it doesn't mean he was healthy.
Yeah,
He was an herbalist and he was very skinny and had low T. He had no his male hormones were very low, but people want to use that vegan argument with Dr. Sebi, which is you have to look at it. Look at the guy. He's very frail for a man.
are you saying he looks like a soy boy?
He's a geek. He looks like a geek. But he's an herbalist. Don't get me wrong. That's what he's good at.
Right.
Was herbs.
He's
But herbs
not. Yeah,
ultimately herbs
he's
treat
not
surface level.
strong. He doesn't have like
Yeah,
strength, right? Okay.
herbs do not treat the root cause of your problems. And what we're trying to do is address the root cause.
Right.
This way of what we do address it. It cures the root cause instead of just curing symptoms. What
Yes.
doctors like this they promote is because what makes them money is curing your symptoms. Because if you only cure the symptoms, you're gonna have to keep coming back, either for the same thing or something else repetitively. So
Yeah.
that's what documentaries like Ornish and things like Game Changers are promoting. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Totally.
It's a big money ploy. So
Right.
you have to understand it. Money is the root of a lot of things that you're going to hear from the government.
It's the root of almost everything. And
Oh yeah,
Mapuan, thank you so much, by the way, for framing your inquiry very nicely. I truly appreciate that because I
yeah.
do
Thank you.
realize people could really attack in the comments here. So, back to the studies and linking meat to heart disease. There actually is not a single study out there that has linked red meat to heart disease, cancer, colon cancer that was designed correctly. This, I'm so thankful that you asked this question because it gives me an opportunity to say this publicly. Every single clinical trial that the other ways of eating have used to slam eating meat and eating animals, none of these clinical trials were controlled for carbohydrates and sugar. So, in every single one of these studies, all of these patients were still eating carbohydrates and sugar. Many of them were smokers, many of them were working very stressful jobs. And most studies looked at 50-year-old white males. You know, there is a very large data set in women in the US. They are mostly Caucasian, but same thing. To date, other than the keto studies that my colleagues are performing, not a single study did they control, meaning the carbohydrates and the sugar were removed from the diet. So you cannot say in a conclusion, oh, it was the red meat that they were eating that gave them colon cancer. And what's so interesting is in the study design, a lot of its recall is like once a month, they'll have you fill out a questionnaire and write down what you ate for the last 30 days. That is not causation. That is relying on people to remember what they ate 30 days ago and then using that to come up with conclusions.
And
So
people
I
lie,
think that's a
so
really good thing for us to
yeah,
talk about.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
Mm,
yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So now I'm going to show this, Lane, and you're going to like this slide because it shows like how many tablespoons of peanut butter and how many tablespoons of black beans you have to eat to equal the nutrients that you get in 1 3-ounce serving of red meat.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay.
I get brain damage looking at this kind of stuff, ma.
Does it hurt your
Seriously,
brain?
it's
It hurts
very
my
upsetting.
brain. I
In
know.
this space, it's I have a very low tolerance for the stuff. No problem. Thanks for asking the question though. It gave us a lot to dive into. Appreciate that.
There we go. Can you all see this?
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get
Okay.
into it.
So this,
Okay. Sorry, mom. Can I start this one?
absolutely, son. Go ahead.
These. Oh my gosh. We 2023. We need to stop these kind of graphics I see on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. These are the worst graphics to ever come out. Like the fact that people think this is real dietary advice is just so foolish. Just look at it. It's so dumb because dude, you're literally like you're
Whoa,
ignoring.
no, wait. But don't miss the point. Okay, so the point of this is to show, like, okay, so let's say you are not a meat eater, right? For various reasons. Okay, to get the same amount of protein, you have to eat 7 tablespoons of peanut butter, which, by the way, turns into sugar, which is 670 calories,
And it's full of
or
a bunch of anti-nutrients. So
and
you can't even
anti-nutrients.
digest the protein in it.
Yes, excellent point. Or you have to eat 3.5 cups. That is so much beans. So you guys look, what is one measuring cup? One measuring cup, right?
Well,
Three
that
and a half cups
three
of
three
black
that's
beans
24.
to
That's
equal
28 ounces of black beans.
that is so much beans. Beans turn into sugar, you guys.
And
Beans
you
turn
also
into
cannot
sugar.
digest their protein either because it's got every anti-nutrient. Same case.
Yes. And that's 374 calories. Lane, I'll let you talk about tofu because you're very passionate
Oh my
about soy.
gosh. Yo, I'm sorry. I've made it one of my personal life's missions to completely destroy soy on the planet. Trust me, I know, like, dude, I've been a part of the vegan community. I know y'all love your tofu, but you're gonna thank me once I save the world. Because trust me, this is a bigger step than people would imagine. Thank you, Jodi Ching. Thank you.
What did Jody
But
say? I
raw,
can't see.
it's just like tofu. First off, worst thing for men and women. That thing will just nuke your hormones tenfold backwards. Horrible. It's what's making men infertile. It's what's ruining women's hormones. Also, it has every single like anti-nutrient in it. You can't even digest the quote unquote protein, the plentiful protein that it contains.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's disgusting. It doesn't even taste good by itself. You need to drown it in something for it to be
And you're
enjoyable.
Japanese, Chinese, and Korean, and you're kind of like trying to
Yeah.
lead the charge
And it's
against
just like
soy. So
anytime I've eaten tofu
you're
in my
like
life, it had to be
full
with
Asian,
something.
not
It
eating
had to be
tofu.
drowned in kimchi or it had to be in soup with some seaweed or something else in it.
Yeah. Or okay, or you guys, you can, and I'm not even saying eat fatty beef. Like it says 3 ounces of lean beef, and just for context, 3 ounces is, and my hands are small, is the size of your palm. That's it. That's all you have to eat to get 25 grams of protein from lean beef. So I hope this slide is very helpful for you guys. Now, lastly, this is the last slide I promise you God I'm showing today, is we need to look at digestive tract. Showing you guys is the small intestines and the large intestines of different species on the planet. So Look at the top left, which is human. You'll notice our stomach, and we have a very long small intestine, and we have a relatively short large intestine. Okay, that is because we are designed anatomically to eat meat. So when you eat vegetables and when you eat grains and when you eat seeds and all of these things and beans, so that is digested in the large intestine. Okay, let me give you an example. Go to the bottom right and look at koala. So it starts with the stomach, and they have a very short small intestine compared to ours. And look at how long their large intestine is. Just feet and feet of large intestine. What do koalas eat? They munch on eucalyptus leaves all day. So they are anatomically designed to digest all of these plants and vegetation. We are not anatomically designed to do so. So I hope this is a very interesting, again, it's just very black or white facts that I'm sharing with you guys. Not opinion pieces, but actual facts. All right. Yeah.
And guys,
So,
sorry, like if you guys are on TikTok, like, and you see these registered dietitians who look like they're in need of more blood, please, please, please do not listen to them because they're going to tell you to go eat one vegan meal a day with tofu and soy sauce on it. They're going to tell you to eat 2 cups of rice with 1 ounce of chicken because that's what a good food spread looks like. You have to understand, like, these registered dietitians were not taught much like correct information. It's very, very, very surface level stuff, and I think they completely ignore the micronutrient part of it, of everything. And they need to understand that, like, all these animal foods are very, very nutritious and very important for evolution. Like, that's how we got here. And I think the past generations, like, we've just completely messed up that cycle.
yeah.
We've gone against nature completely.
Okay, and I'm not here to knock dietitians by any means. Please know that that's not my stance. It is important for people to know, though, that dietitians do need to practice the dietary guidelines. That is what they are supposed to educate you on and talk about. And their curriculum in school is influenced by the dietary guidelines. And it's influenced by systems like the food compass scoring system that we showed you at the beginning of this video. And that's why it's so important for you as a consumer and as a regular person, just like we are, to understand the information that is being disseminated to us. And it doesn't matter what's disseminated to us in the form of a guideline or a freaking chart. Like, look stuff up yourself. I am telling you that the human body needs amino acids and all the vitamins and minerals to function properly on a daily basis. When you become deficient in these things, you stop functioning properly. And that's what illness and disease is. That's what physical illness and disease is. That's what mental and emotional illness and disease is. And really, like, do a Google search. What are the 9 essential amino acids that my body needs? What are all the vitamins and minerals that the human body needs? Then look up the nutrition facts of red meat, fish, chicken, pork, eggs, seafood. Make your own chart. Look up the nutritional facts of lettuce, kale, what carrots, what do people eat? Like, all these fruits and stuff.
Yeah, I would know firsthand working at Whole Foods. I know what people eat.
But don't forget to also look up the carbohydrate count of each of these things, because the carbs turn into sugar. So you want to balance your nutrition with the amount of sugar that you are consuming, and that's how you could devise your own nutritional plan if you really wanted to at the end of the day.
Basically, what whatever they told you not to eat is probably what you should be eating,
I would
from the
say
food
that's a
compass.
very fair statement.
Like, you could almost, you could literally just flip it over and it would be a lot better.
Yeah, well, and that's what we say in keto. You take the dietary guidelines, the triangle, and you basically flip it upside down, and you're
And honestly,
solid. You're good to go.
I think you guys should all try eating like this and just make like judge for yourself. You know, let it speak for itself.
Yeah,
Like, don't just take our word for it and not do it. I think you guys should. Everyone should try it,
yeah.
at least
Everyone needs
for
to
an extended period of
experiment,
time.
right? Do what
Yeah,
Lane did.
I
Go
think it's
be an
just like
actual vegan for a year, then
I
eat
think well,
animal
experience is
based
the
for
best
a year.
teacher too. So I mean, I find myself not like knocking myself even like 10 minutes ago. I was subconsciously like, wow, what if I wasn't a vegan? I could have been like 6'1". You know, anything in my brain to convince me I could have been 6 foot. But it's just like I think you just need to experience everything and then just figure out what works. Because I think before you actually get healthy, there's something in your brain telling you that you don't want to do that because oh, I want to enjoy my life. I want to enjoy all this food and stuff. But like, don't you want to live a more like full, like fulfilling life, like a healthy, happy life instead of a very like I'm not gonna call it mediocre, but just like everyone else, and just like everyone else is not great. Because what
Well,
we're doing now is not what we're doing right now is not living. We're a very depressed society, and
yes,
this is a very big part of it, and people need to take it into consideration more that this is like very important, and it's not just food is not something to be talked about lightly, like how people think it is.
but
It
I
was like,
think
oh,
we,
I can eat Taco Bell, McDonald's, and be happy all day. You know,
yeah,
that's
but
really
people
not
don't
truth.
realize that they are walking around in a brain fog all day. People don't
Yeah,
realize that
but that's how they get you.
the quinoa and the frosted mini wheats and the bread they've been eating is the reason why they cannot lose weight. You know why it's so hard for they blame their genetics, they blame their menopause, they blame all kinds of stuff. It's what they're eating, but they don't know that. You know, they don't realize they could have more energy. They don't realize they could be happier. They don't realize they could be more productive every single day.
Hmm.
They don't realize it's what they're eating that's literally they're like, remember Wally? Remember
Yeah.
Wally? Everyone was obese and they just stared
Well,
at their TV screen all day.
that's literally what we are.
We're
That is we're
literally
not
becoming that.
and it's sad because people call that life. People call that's normal now. I can't
It's
watch it personally.
normal.
It infuriates me a lot, but I
Yeah.
think it's just like people have to understand the government does not give like they do not care about how well you're doing at all as long as they're making money, and how they make money is by keeping you frail and
Yeah.
stupid
By
and
keeping
weak,
you,
and that's what they're going to continue, that's what they're going to keep doing with
yeah,
all these like COVID was a big money maker for them and a big loss for us,
yeah,
and that's what they're going to keep doing. They're going to keep coming up with new pandemics to distract us because like everything they're doing is just not it's not in our best interest. They're promoting all these things to keep us sad and depressed and weak, and you have to understand it's just like whatever school taught you about government and stuff, it's not true. That's not true. History books don't pay attention to that kind of stuff either. You have to look at the facts. Take a look around, get off your phone and just look around. You'll find
right.
more truth in that. And like I said, it goes back to what I was saying, experience is the best teacher. Do it yourself and just get your own perspective on it. Don't just listen to
Yeah,
us.
yeah. And really, that's what all the keto doctors did, all of my colleagues, is we sat there and we questioned, like, um, if all of these guidelines and all of these recommendations were correct, why are there so many sick patients, right? And then you experiment on yourself and you educate yourself. And I think the last thing I want to leave people with, I think we shared a lot of good slides today and information for people to try to digest is you guys look up the definition of capitalism. Just look up the word capitalism in just Google it. The definition that comes up is very interesting. It's very interesting. And you must realize that the United States is a capitalistic society, you know? So, but don't fret. It's okay that all of this is happening behind the scenes. There are a lot of people like us that are educating you, and it's about knowing the true facts for yourself, and that's what we're trying to encourage all of you to do.
And I think you have to realize that change starts with you and your tribe too. I think
Absolutely.
you need to stop focusing on everything else externally outside of your tribe and you and yourself. Change starts within you and your own household. So I think it's
Yeah.
just everyone needs to just focus on making themselves and their households better, and then the community, and then eventually keep expanding.
Yeah. The ripple
But I
always
mean,
starts small and then it'll spread.
yeah, because I mean, also just look at our president, dude. Just like,
No, no, no.
who-
Let's not go there on this video.
sorry, we're completely different people, Mom. I'm starting my own podcast. Sorry.
Stop it.
I'm sorry. I'm a lot more passionate. I'm passionate in a much different way.
No, I know, I
To the
know,
point,
I
like, it's how hard it is to not cuss on this podcast, Mom.
know. Well, I appreciate you
That,
not cussing. Well,
professional.
and people, that's why I have my 18-year-old son as my co-host in this video series every Sunday. Is you're looking at two generations of health, two generations of experience with um, really deep diving into different dietary lifestyles and just seeing what can come about regardless of all the noise that is around us. And so we will be back. Let's end this now. We will be back next week, same time every Sunday at 5 p.m. Hawaii time. We have not come up or decided on our next topic yet, but it will likely be something spinning off of this for sure. And please join us then. Yeah? Want to say bye, Lane?
Bye, guys. Take care of yourselves. Stay educated. Have a good week. See you next week.
See you next week, everyone. Take care.